Mornings on 2 is hitting the road for a zip trip to Campbell.
A wonderful, walkable, shoppable downtown.
We're taking you inside some of the city's favorite eateries.
We have a lot of customers that have been coming for a really long time.
We're also playing Zip Trip Trivia with those who know.
You nailed it.
Really?
Yes.
And those who don't.
I've only lived here 60 years. I can't imagine how I don't know any of this stuff.
And you'll meet the Campbell woman who bounced back from rock bottom.
So that weekend I lost everything.
With the help of a Campbell police officer.
Saved my life and saved her life.
Join us as we highlight a South Bay city with a rich history and a bright future as Mornings on 2 takes you on a zip trip to Campbell. The sounds of the WESTMONT High School Jazz Ensemble. They're flying us to the moon, but we've taken a detour to Campbell in the heart of Silicon Valley. Our zip trip this morning lands us in the 95008, and here we are. We're in front of the historic Ainsley House here in gorgeous Campbell. The weather couldn't be any better. Campbell has changed quite a bit in the past several decades or so. And Mike, we're here happy to highlight all the amazing things the city has done and has yet to offer.
I could not think of a better spot to start summer of 2019. It is officially summer, right?
Yes.
I think just 5-6 minutes ago.
Brand new.
The summer solstice is here. You know, when I was actually on Highway 17 Sunday and Monday driving by Campbell, I was with my family and I said, hey, pointed out, there's Campbell. And on the way home, I said, hey, there's Campbell. Point of the story is, it was kind of like growing up here. I never stopped in the city of Campbell.
Right.
It was just kind of a place that I know on my way to San Jose was there, but never spent any time there. So I did not really spend much time here until we started working here back in 2005 and really got to know this great spot. A lot of character, a lot of charm, a lot of history.
Yes.
You know, the water tower, the house behind us. And it's also a spot, it's pretty young here. A lot of people, I think the average age of people who live in the city is kind of in their 40s.
Yeah, definitely. And what I love is that people who grew up in Campbell love to stay in Campbell. As we hear more from the WESTMONT High School Jazz Ensemble, the band leader, Christiana Smith, actually graduated from WESTMONT.
That's great.
Her instrument is the clarinet, and now she's come back to lead those who are following in her footsteps. So we'll hear more from the Jazz Ensemble throughout the morning. We also have some amazing stories from all throughout the city of Campbell. We have Sal Castaneda just a few steps away from us here. He is at Sushi Confidential. He's going to try his hand at sticky rice, rolling some sushi. So we'll see Sal in a second. Also, if you come down and say hi to us in the square here in front of Ainsley House, you can say good morning to Claudine Wong. She is standing by. We have an Airstream trailer here. You can go inside and do good things, pop outside and get caffeinated and sugared up, so it's a great place to be.
All right, before we get to Sal, before we get to Claudine, let's dust off the archives, I guess you could say, and give you a little history of the city of Campbell. In 100 years, Campbell has gone from fields of luscious fruit orchards to a bustling list of profitable businesses. The Orchard City is in the West Valley area of Santa Clara County and part of Silicon Valley. Now home to more than 42,000 people, Campbell was founded by Benjamin Campbell in 1846. The town quickly becoming rich with farmers and fruit orchards. In 1887, a railroad stop was built, giving farmers a way to ship their crops worldwide. And in 1919, a popular dried fruit company, Sunsweet, got its start in Campbell under a co-op of farmers called the California Prune and Apricot Growers Association. The iconic water tower, which can be seen from Highway 17, was built in 1928. The 75,000-gallon tank stands at an impressive 130 feet tall. Then in 1952, Campbell was officially incorporated as a city. The Orchard City is home to the Prune Yard Shopping Center, credited with a U.S. Supreme Court win in 1980 involving a free speech debate. Campbell is also the original home of eBay and its creator, Piero Migliar, who launched the e-commerce corporation in 1995. The company, of course, becoming a notable success story of the dot-com bubble.
And as we are here in Campbell, Mike, you talked about driving by Campbell on your way down to Santa Cruz not too long ago. My dream is to take a perfect little Airstream trailer, load it up with good food and my tiny family, and take it down the coast. Claudine Wong is here, and we actually have an Airstream trailer here as well, not for camping, but for doing good deeds. Am I right, Claudine?
Yes, imagine that. You want an Airstream? We've got one for you. We love coming down and coming out here and kind of settling in, and this Airstream's allowed us to do just that. It's super cool inside. People are invited to come down here, take a look, and then we've kind of just camped out. This is like a KTVU camp out here where we've got you guys in picture and cardboard form hanging out, and then we've got coffee and we've got pastries, and it's really just nice to see everyone coming. Look, we've got a whole crowd over here. Hi, guys! Coming out. Michael Casey actually came down here from just a hop, skip, and a jump away. And tell me why you wanted to come down here and kind of watch this behind the scenes.
Well, I like
KTVU the 9. I watch it. I watch the news all the time, weekends, all that.
You love that?
Oh yeah, I love the broadcast. And Campbell's a great city. It's just has a small town feel to it. I used to live in a small town in Alabama, so it kind of reminds me of places like that.
Yeah, it's nice down here. What do you think about this behind the scenes? I mean, you've watched this on TV before, but it's kind of a fun thing to maybe kind of see how we put it all together?
Oh, yeah, to see how everything goes together and get to meet all the personalities and everything.
Well, we're happy to meet you, too. It's super fun. The Airstream's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Michael Casey, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. So come down and really hang out with us. It's really fun for us to just really be down here, kind of get the sights and sounds. We've got local coffee down here from the Campbell Coffee House, and we've got a whole bunch of KTVU stuff over here, too, and lots of our team. So many in the team. Hi, guys. Putting him on the spot there. But, yes, it's going to be a great time, and we're happy to just kind of settle in and make this our home for the next hour.
All right, Claudine, thank you. We'll be checking in with you for a little bit later in the newscast. You know, I mentioned it is the official start of summer. Not only would I join you in that Airstream and go camping for a while, but it's also time for camps. You know, I picked this up just on the table to the side here, and we're going to be talking throughout the newscast about something called the Recreation Youth Scholarship. Now, you know, it's expensive sometimes to put children into camps throughout the summer, especially if you have 2, 3, 4 children in each family. So we're going to dive into this a little bit about the importance of donating so that this scholarship can exist, so that children here in Campbell can experience all different types of camps, from swimming to cheerleading to art to basketball to tennis. A very important nonprofit here going on in Campbell. So we'll dive into that a little bit later on.
And nothing says summertime, better than, being outside, getting your toes in the dirt, maybe enjoying some of these seasonal foods that this area used to be plentiful with. There is a great farmer's market, I'm told, here in Campbell on Sundays. We are at a place that used to be just lush with fruit orchards. Sal Castaneda is about a block away from where we are. We're not talking fruit where you are, we're talking sushi, right?
That's right. We are talking sushi, and a little later on here, I'm at Sushi Confidential. And this is probably seen this storefront if you are in Campbell. It's on East Campbell Avenue. And it's one of the places that say it's open late. Now, East Campbell Avenue, if you don't know, if you haven't been to Campbell, is really the downtown area. There's bars, there's restaurants, taqueria. I want to bring in Randy real quick here. Sushi Randy here. Randy Muster, you're the owner of Sushi Confidential. A little later on, he's going to teach me how to make sushi, which is something that I don't know. Can you think you can teach me how to make sushi?
Yeah, definitely. You're good at everything you do, and I guarantee it that you'll make a good sushi roll your very first time.
Your check's in the mail, Randy. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to be with Randy a little later on to make sushi. Mike and Gassia, a little later on also, I'm going to show you what I found when I came to taste some of the things in town. And a hint is, you have some right there on the set. You're going to be able to try them too. That's just a hint there.
Awesome.
Let's go back to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Sal.
All right, Sal, we're just getting started here on the 9. Much more to come. We're talking Zip Trip Trivia, specifically the mayor. Do you actually know the name of your mayor in the city where you live? I know my mayor's first name, Gary, and his last name, Phillips.
Okay.
Your mayor.
I do know.
Big name. But sometimes in small towns, people don't know.
Right.
That's just one question that we're going to dive into for Zip Trip Trivia. And then also the mayor, speaking of the mayor of the city, is going to join us live for a discussion right here on the 9. The 9 live from downtown Campbell is back after the break.
Hey, welcome back. Our Zip Trip has taken us to Campbell, and we're here on a gorgeous Friday morning. Maybe 20 minutes ago, Mike, there weren't that many people here joining us in front of the Ainsley House, but now the crowd is building, and we're going to share some of their stories with you. If you're around, come on down, because it's a gorgeous morning, and we have coffee and pastries.
That's right. I've already had 2 cups of coffee. I haven't had the pastry yet.
Okay.
2 cups of coffee. I'm always, we're in the business of asking questions, right? So peppering people with questions. How well do you know your city? That's one of the big questions that we've been asking on these Zip Trips. And in fact, KTVU's Frank Malicote has more on Zip Trip Trivia.
Campbell was known as the blank capital of the world. Fill in the blank. Apple? Apple. Wrong. Wrong.
Apricot.
No.
The fun capital.
The fun capital, yes.
There's always fun down here.
Cherries? Oh, wine capital of the world.
Wine capital. Have you seen some vineyards here?
No, I have not.
Prune juice. You really ought to try it.
Big shopping center here, known as the
Prune yard.
Prune yard.
The prune capital.
Yes. Campbell is the original home of a very big high-tech firm. What is it?
High-tech, well, Apple? No.
IBM? Netflix?
We're going to call a friend.
Oh, like
Google, IBM, I'm not sure.
Give me a hint.
A, B, C, D.
E, F, G.
E.
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 eBay.
eBay. See?
I'm Matt Allison, I'll be catching.
Back in the 70s, this town sent 3 teams to a very prestigious tournament. They did quite well. Can you name the sport in that tournament?
Soccer?
Volleyball. Volleyball. No.
Tennis.
Tennis. Wrong.
Lacrosse? Baseball?
Baseball is correct.
They had a baseball team?
A little kid baseball thing.
Yeah. Better known as?
Little League.
Little League. And what was the tournament?
The National Tournament of Champions.
World Series.
Okay.
True or false, the city of Campbell was named after the founder of Campbell's Soup.
Campbell's Soup? I'm going to say false.
False. Really? Are you sure?
I'm not sure. False.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, why not? Because I can see some sign outside. Maybe yes.
False.
False.
Campbell's Soup, yes.
Really?
Yes.
You know that one, right?
I know that.
Wrong. Who is the mayor of Campbell?
At present, no idea.
Oh, there was such great hope when you said that.
Oh, gosh, he's a CPA.
Could it be, is it, oh, I do not.
Really?
Oh.
Oh, God, I have no clue.
If you're not poor, you are?
Rich.
Rich?
Oh, God. Richard
Waterman?
Waterman.
Yeah. Rich Waterman.
Brewed from the prunes of California.
See, I told everyone down there it's not easy answering these questions, and I'm also told on good authority that the Mayor Waterman has a very good sense of humor. At least we hope so. In fact, he was the mayor not once, but twice. He's been there the last year and a half. And Mike and Garcia, sometimes the wrong answers are more fun. So call it the power of editing. But when you talk to the mayor, please give him my best.
We will. Hey, were you kind of surprised that people actually did not know their own mayor?
Well, I must admit, when I was at Livermore, I asked the same question. A lot of folks are in fringy towns, too. You don't always get somebody that's from Campbell. They might be from Saratoga or Los Gatos. But Rich has been in office for the last year and a half, and he took over. He was a city councilman, so he's well known. I had one gal say, oh, my God, he just did my taxes, because he's a CPA as well. And he goes, what is his name? What is his name? But eventually, they all figured it out.
All right, Frank, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Speaking of the mayor himself, let's bring him in right now. He's sitting right next to us here.
Hey,
Mayor, some people, we just ran a story that they didn't know who you were. Sure. You know, you're in a small town. You may think that people should know me. Are you a little surprised by that or not surprised?
Well, this is my second round as mayor, and it's one of the great things with this city. It just kind of runs itself. A lot of people do know me. I was walking through downtown, our beautiful downtown yesterday, and everyone was like, hey, Mayor, you know, the people in downtown all know me, the people in my neighborhood, and there's certain people involved, but a lot of people, I think in any city, or especially smaller cities, are going on with things, and they really like it here. So, yeah. And I do want to make sure we, we thank KTVU. We have a lot of our council members here and our city staff. And we want to thank
everyone
you
I've talked to, Mayor, who's come up, they say you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So you are one of the relative few, I guess, who have left tech. You're now a CPA and the mayor of Campbell. Can we talk about the impact that tech has had on Campbell specifically?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's had a big impact all around. I mean, the great thing with Campbell is we've done an incredible job of balancing it, whereas we have this sort of huge amount of tech, we were able to keep that, you know, I know a little cliche, but the small town feel here where people do know everybody else, where residents know each other, where we have the, you know, great shopping and things. And we don't necessarily change. I've been here 25 years and there hasn't been this huge change as high tech gets bigger, and we're trying to just keep it at a moderate level of growth.
How do you think you've been successful in doing that in Campbell? Because we reported on a number of cities that really are struggling with the balance of new and preserving why people were here in the first place.
Well, it is a struggle, and at the same time, I mentioned, keeping the historical look. If you go downtown and around the neighborhoods here, there's a lot of historical buildings, so we want to keep that. At the same time, as you say, we have different companies. Google is going to be, they're saying they're going to open up a big new place, only 2 light rail stations from here with 20,000 or so employees. So we have to look at that and look at the impact, but sort of strategically look at it without changing the neighborhoods and keeping that feel we have now.
I'm talking about the future there. When you think about the past, when you think about where you live right now, I mean, you have Los Gatos nearby, you have Saratoga nearby. Is there a sense of pride that you get here living and saying that I am a resident of Campbell?
Well, absolutely. Like I said, with all the things we have to offer, we've been quite successful, as I mentioned, with the downtown, with the Prune Yard, and then with our various neighborhoods where we have our homes and we're comfortable here. And as I say, a lot of us have lived here a long time and we just love it. We're not, as we reach retirement age, we're not moving to distant towns. We're really
this is home.
Yeah, this is home for us. So you'll see that in a lot of people here.
Can we talk about homes for a second? I was browsing real estate last night online. And my goodness, it is out of reach for many. Your average price is well over $1 million.
I think it's 1.5.
Something around there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Are you? Hang on to that house, right? What are your concerns going forward for those? You've got a couple recent high school graduates here heading into university. When they get out and they want that first apartment or that starter home, are you concerned that it's already out of reach for many?
Yeah, I mean, it's an extreme issue. We spend a huge amount of time, not just Campbell. We're part of a group that includes what we call the West Valley cities, the ones that you mentioned before, Los Gatos, Saratoga, Cupertino, etc. And we spend a lot of time talking about this subject. As you know, Cupertino's having a pretty intense discussion on it right now. Right. But we're trying to work it out at the right level. We want more housing. We're enforcing what we call below market rate housing, and saying if you're going to put in a certain amount of units, you have to have that many units. So we don't have a lot of open land here. Right. It's just kind of replacing a lot of the land, especially near our light rail station, to be able to accommodate more and more renters, more and more below market rate housing.
Well, we know you have a good summer planned here. If you can afford to live here and have a home, or even if not, come to Campbell because your summer concert series just kicked off last night, right?
Yeah.
Right where we're sitting here.
It was fantastic. We had our first one yesterday, and that'll go through the summer. It's a great place to come and have a glass of beer or whatever and a hot dog.
Sure.
We all enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm all for a glass of beer and a glass of wine, whatever, and some live music.
Right. I'll be at the farmer's market on Sundays.
and that's part of the community. Yeah, every Sunday we have our farmer's market also.
Awesome. Well, Mayor Rich Waterman, thanks for having us. We appreciate your time and keep charging.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. We talked a minute ago about great things happening here in the city of Campbell, and so much of that has to do with the great people who are here. We met a man named Nicholas. His family owns a business just a couple blocks from where we are. He's with the Downtown Campbell Business Association, and he's the Business of the Year, and he's here presenting a pretty big check.
Yeah, that's a $4,000 check I see right over there. And, we talked about the scholarship fund for youth recreation here and people donating a couple $100 here and there. But when you talk about thousands of dollars, that just shows me the support that people have here in the community of Campbell, not just for their residents, but for their businesses as well.
I love it. So thank you to Nicholas, and thank you to the Downtown Campbell Business Association, all for the Campbell San Jose Rotary Fund. So very good work being done here as we speak and as we're bringing you the 9 live from Campbell. So we talked about Sal's making sushi. He is also checking out an amazing donut shop here in town.
The Psycho Donuts.
Yes,
That's right. You heard it. Psycho Donuts. So coming up on the 9, we're going to learn a little bit more about Psycho Donuts, and we'll check back in with Sal as the 9 live from downtown Campbell continues right after the break.
Well, welcome back to the beautiful town of Campbell. We're so excited to be in this city, so excited to kind of just give you a little taste of it, and what better than with the WESTMONT Jazz Ensemble. We are here listening to their gorgeous sounds this morning. We've got the band director, Christiana Mandler-Smith, who is here. Tell me about this band. Thank you so much for bringing them out here today.
Thank you. So this is one of our 5 performing ensembles, and they are one of our elite groups. They do most of our community events. They played here in downtown Campbell at Boogie. They perform at the County Office of Education for the Staff Recognition Dinner every year, and we just enjoy being out and involved with Campbell.
Yeah, and what a close group here. Tell me a little bit about the members of this ensemble as we watch them play, because you kind of have everyone in here, from seniors who've already graduated and getting ready for college to, you know, freshmen who are just starting their journey through WESTMONT.
Yeah, so we have a 9 through 12 group, freshmen through seniors. We actually have 2 seniors who have just graduated, who are out here playing this morning, and they are super excited to be here. We don't have everyone, obviously, as it's summer break, but we have a good group, and they work very hard at perfecting their craft.
You know, the love of music, and music, I mean, we've been talking about these kids. Some of them are wrestlers, some of them run track. They have a lot of different interests. But when it comes to what music brings to that high school experience, it really just brings to their lives. What do you see the change and the benefit for these kids?
So the benefit for them specifically is that they're leaving high school with those 21st century skills. They've got critical thinking that they have to do all the time, since they have to listen and adjust as they go. They get a creative outlet to kind of unwind, as some of their other academic classes put different pressures on them, and they get to express themselves, which they don't often get to do, but they get to express themselves in a way that everyone else can hear.
And when coming back as a graduate and seeing these kids come through and seeing the high school experience that they went through after you went through the same high school, which I think is so cool, what does that give to you to really just kind of see this next generation of musicians coming up through the school?
Well, as this program has always been near and dear to my heart, as my own program, you know, as an alumni, I just enjoy having them stretch their craft and trying to learn new things and get out of that comfort zone that they can fall into.
Well, and it does say so much about Campbell. People come back, right?
People definitely do come back. WESTMONT is definitely a place where people come home.
We come back and we stay. What is their favorite song to play? I mean, if they got to pick, what would it be?
I think right now their favorite song is Fly Me to the Moon, which is what we open with.
Can we get them to, they're going to go again with, and how much practice so we know the dedication?
So they meet 4 days a week for a little over an hour a day.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming out here and spending this summer morning with us, this first day of summer. Thank you, Christiana. And we'll send it back to you guys, and really a great way to just get a little music to start off our day. Mike and Gassia?
I love it. I love it. All right, Claudine, thank you for that. Hey, we met Mary out here during the commercial break.
We did. Mary's a lovely woman. She came and said, I watch KTVU every morning, and for that we said thank you. So, and I also love that Mary came down here in her floral bike helmet with her floral leggings. She is one of many people who come to us here to say good morning in the heart of Campbell. We're in front of the Ainsley House, which of course was home to pioneering canners, John and Alcinda Ainsley. They revolutionized how Americans got their fruit. The fruits, if you will, of Campbell were sent out across the country thanks to the work that they did to put nature's bounty in a preservable way. So thank you for coming down. Mary, good to see you. Good to see everyone who came down here. We have some coffee, we have some pastries, we have sunshine, we have live music. What more could you want?
The crowd is here and we are here. All right, still to come, we are going to give you a taste of the town. We're going to check back in live with Sal Castaneda. Summer 2019 officially underway as we are broadcasting live from downtown Campbell. Welcome back to the 9, live from downtown Campbell. The WESTMONT High Jazz Ensemble starting to pick it up a little bit. I like this beat going on. I tell you what, Garcia, if there was an instrument I could play, it would probably be the saxophone. There's something about the sax that I've always liked about it.
No, I totally
What about
agree.
you?
I wanted to play the saxophone, but they wouldn't let me.
You mean you actually tried?
I did.
How dare they? Who is this person?
Go to Joe Mitchell Elementary, and they'll let you know who banned me from the sax, but I'm looking over saxophone, trombone, keyboard, drums, everything. I love the sound of live music, and these young musicians from Westmont High School's Jazz Ensemble are bringing it to us live here in gorgeous Campbell this morning. You talk about a natural pairing, right? You know, jazz and trombones, donuts and coffee, sushi and maybe sake, I don't know. Sal Castaneda has his hands full as he is giving us a taste of the town right here in Campbell. Sal.
All right, Garcia, Mike, that's right. We're inside Sushi Confidential, and this is a place that when you walk in, it feels like a sushi bar. It looks like a sushi bar. I mean, for me, that's important. These guys are getting ready for lunch service right now. I've never seen so many avocados. They're cutting and they're dicing. And down here is the fresh fish. Look at all this. If you're a fish lover, if you're a raw fish lover, this is a place where you need to come to Sushi Confidential here on East Campbell Avenue. And as they get ready for their lunch service. A little later on in the program, I'm going to be using some of these very same ingredients, and I'm going to be making sushi. Not like that experienced gentleman over there, but something like that. The owner, Randy, is going to teach me how to do that. Now, my job on this Zip Trip thing is to taste food. And we've tasted everything from sushi to donuts. Here's what I found on the Taste of the Town in Campbell. A donut shop is a donut shop, right? Not when it comes to Psycho Donuts, Campbell's answer to boring donut shops. Psycho Donuts, which has gained national attention, is anything but boring. The shop is decorated to look like a psycho ward. Although you can get a regular-looking donut here, why would you when you can choose from one of the crazy, long-standing favorites like the Canadian Morning Squeal Meal, the Dead Elvis, or
our Serial Killer, which is a raised square donut with vanilla icing, marshmallows, and Captain Crunch.
Psycho Donuts gave us a behind-the-scenes look at their unique creations. All right, so we're looking behind the scenes here, and they are going to decorate some donuts for us. And this looks like an involved process. Remember, these aren't the typical donuts you find. They're a lot more intricate. For example, this donut is created to celebrate Pride Month. Ooh.
Yep.
I even got to make a relatively simple donut, and of course I got to try some of the creations, and I can see why people come here.
Oh boy, it looks good.
We have a lot of customers that have been coming for a really long time, and they all have their own favorite donuts, and they all tend to come back over and over again.
After leaving Psycho Donuts, it occurred to me I needed a strong cup of coffee. No problem here at Barefoot Coffee Roasters. It's a small but nice spot where you can get a variety of coffee and teas. I wanted to try a slightly fancier item, their pour-over coffee. So what's the big deal about a pour-over?
Makes it better. You pick up more of the flavors, more complex flavors, more of the nuances of the beans.
Manager Kathy Lucas made me a dark roast pour-over. The process takes about 3 minutes, and everything is precise from the amount of coffee used to the water temperature, and the result was a delicious cup of coffee that, in my opinion, did taste better than the average cup. Ooh, that's good. All right, well, we are back here at Sushi Confidential. I want to show my new friend Jorge, who is cutting up the fish with amazing precision. Very good job there, Jorge. All right, so that's some of the fish that if you come to Sushi Confidential, you will be eating this lunchtime. So Mike and Garcia, as I go back to you, a little later on, I'm going to be making a California roll, but Randy, the owner, is going to make a roll called Zip Trip roll. So he's got a special roll he's going to make just for us. Yeah. So we're really close. So I'll bring some for you to try a little later on.
I love it, Sal. We'll see you soon. In fact, Psycho Donuts just sent us a few donuts. I guess you could say, what is that, 3, 6, 9, 12?
This one has bacon all over it.
12 donuts right here in my lap.
See, they'd go straight to my hips.
How long's the show? 1 hour?
Anyways,
we'll see how much damage I could do.
So we'll talk about Psycho Donuts. We'll see Sal roll some sushi. We talked about good people doing good things here in Campbell, and I want you to help people of Campbell do that. We talked about how there's nothing better than summer, than being outside, having fun. I know, Mike, you're a big youth sports coach. charge. The city of Campbell has an incredible recreation program for its youth. The sad fact is that not everyone can afford that. It is hundreds of dollars, as I know every parent out there knows. So we are happy to welcome people who want to donate to the Recreation Youth Scholarship effort. This goes to help children who are ages 17 and under, and all the scholarship money for these rec programs, Mike, comes from community donations.
100%.
So
Yeah,
100%. If it's $10, if it's $100, if it's $1,000, come down here, make a difference, pop into our Airstream trailer, grab yourself a donut and a cup of coffee, and pat yourself on the back for doing a great job to help the city of Campbell.
All right, next let's get over to KTVU's Claudine Wong. She's done a wonderful story, what we've called a hometown hero. She joins us live now for more on that. Hey, Claudine.
Hey, Mike and Garcia. Yes, this next story, it starts back in 2009 when a Campbell police officer answered a call. It was a tough call. It involved a mother, her young child, drugs, Child Protective Services. It was a long night, and no one could have predicted the happy ending that would come a decade later.
This story begins 10 years ago. Ian White had been working with Campbell PD for about 5 years back then, and he got a call about a mobile home.
It was just a parking complaint regarding a mobile home parked on the street.
Rosemary Smith answered the door.
My impression of her was that she was a drug user and that was the situation at the time.
Did she appear to be on drugs when you were talking to her?
Correct.
We were using, of course. I was doing everything, drinking, drugs, all of it.
But it isn't Smith Ian White remembers most. It was her 2-year-old daughter, Lily.
I remember Lily. I remember finding her daughter in the mobile home. And I want to say at the time, my daughter was just a little bit younger than her.
It ended up being a long call. Smith says he spent a long time talking to her.
I finally gave in. I finally told him, yeah, I was high. I was very mad at him. I told him. I can't even tell you what I said to him. It wasn't nice.
When the night ended, her daughter had been taken by Child Protective Services, and she was in handcuffs. This is her mugshot from that night. It was Mother's Day weekend, 2009.
That weekend, I lost everything. I lost everything.
Smith calls that weekend rock bottom. She had spent decades using and losing. Years before, she gave up custody of her son, Matthew.
How long have you been using at that point?
35 years. When I got to the police station, that's all that I was thinking about. What am I doing? This is ridiculous. This has got to stop.
5 days after her arrest, she got clean, entered a family wellness program, and started turning her life around. This picture was taken in a parenting class that she took during the 6 months it took to get her daughter back. Over the next several years, with the help from a judge and mentors, she excelled, enrolled at San Jose City College, and earned multiple degrees.
I think I just switched addictions. Really, I switched from that to that, and that was a really good one, you know. And
that's a better addiction.
Yeah, much better.
She is working full-time now as a supervisor for a security company.
She's a walking testament, not just to us here at work, but to her child and to her friends.
She reconnected with her adult son, Matthew, and she became the parent she always wanted to be for Lily, who has brief memories of what home used to be.
It was very filthy.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I remember it. I don't remember how it looks. I can just remember that it's very bad.
But she is creating so many more memories now of dance and vacations and family, and she credits Sergeant White and that night.
I wouldn't know where I'd be because the life I have now is amazing, and I don't want to imagine that. And Sergeant White just completed that.
It is why Smith reached out to him last year as she was getting ready to graduate from UC Santa Cruz.
I wanted to call him and show him, look at what, I always say, look at what you've done. He says, no, you did that, you know, but he saved my life, like literally.
The bond that has grown since then is remarkable. He went to her graduation, and she's come to the department to tell her story.
We need those success stories. I think more now than ever, we need to see that something works.
He helped Lily. He definitely helped Lily. And he helped me. Saved my life. He saved her life. My family's back. You know, that one moment that happened brought all of that together.
Smith is hoping to be a parole officer, so she's working towards that. And in the meantime, she tells her story because she says she wants others who are battling addiction to know that there's hope. And she tells it to police officers because she wants them to know how big of a difference they can make in people's lives. Back to you, Mike and Dacia.
Absolutely. Claudine, thank you so much. An incredible story.
All right, Claudine, thank you for that. Still to come on the 9. My goodness. Are we talking sushi?
Yeah.
Did I hear zip trip roll, something like that? Not a California roll? Look, 30 minutes I've been here. I had donuts. I'm not a donut guy. I'm not a sushi guy. And apparently we're going to have some sushi. We're going to check in with Sal one more time at Sushi Confidential and get to know a little bit more about something called the zip trip roll.
I love it. And we are loving the sounds of the Westmont High School Jazz Ensemble. We're in Campbell, so it is fitting that we bring to you something composed by one of the Jazz Ensemble members. Jet Felder composed what you're listening to. It is called A Place Called Paradise. The 9 is so proud to bring you our zip trip from Campbell this morning. Let's listen and stay with us. More to come after this.
Welcome back to the 9 live from downtown Campbell. The sun is out now. Summer officially here.
Right.
I like these zip trips. I like getting out of the office a little bit, right?
I love
Taking the
it.
show on the road.
I love it.
Don't have to be in the suit and tie.
Right. It feels
all bundled
good.
up in the studio lights.
Right.
No,
No.
this is fun. I enjoy these.
This is great. We've had so many people come up and say, thanks for coming to Campbell. I mean, I'll be honest, you and I, we reported here a long time before we got paired up on the 9. And we've been to many communities, and it wasn't that often that we got out to Campbell. So we're so appreciative of the love that we're getting from Campbell. So many people saying, I watch you guys every morning, and it's nice to see you in person. The feeling is mutual. Another reason I like getting out and about is that we get to sort of taste and see and smell things that maybe we wouldn't otherwise. I know Sal Castaneda has been doing a great job of offering us a taste of the town, and now you're going to get your hands dirty. You're going to actually roll some sushi at Sushi Confidential, Sal.
Yes, but before I get my hands dirty, I had to wash them thoroughly because making sushi, and I'm going to be making sushi and being taught by Sushi Randy here, Randy Muster, who's the owner of Sushi Confidential right here on East Campbell Avenue. All right, Randy, what do I need to do to make a sushi roll?
Well, first was washing your hands. You already did that because you're going to eat the roll, so we want to make sure your hands are clean.
Okay.
Next, before you touch the rice, because the rice is very sticky, you want to wet your hands.
Okay.
So you're going to wet your hands, and you're going to grab the rice that's in front of you, and you're going to put it across the seaweed, which is nori. It's a dried piece of seaweed.
Okay.
And you're just going to, you don't want to smash it on there, but you want to just lightly roll the rice evenly all the way across the nori.
All the way across?
Yep.
Okay.
So just make sure you get make sure you get over to the corners and the sides.
Okay. All right.
There you go. You're doing great.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of slide this over just a little bit.
A little bit
there
of help.
you go.
There you go. Now I am
side.
making a California roll. You're making a special roll called the zip trip roll.
Zip trips roll. Yep.
Okay.
So now you're going to flip it over.
Okay.
We like to put a lot of fish on the inside, so we want to get the rice on the outside. You're going to grab your crab.
Okay.
I'm going to end up grabbing some spicy tuna.
So
and you're just going to put it straight across the middle, all the way across evenly, and then you're going to grab your avocado.
Okay.
I'm going to grab some shrimp tempura, put it in my zip trips roll.
Okay.
I'm going to put avocado. So now you want to actually roll it. So you're going to use the rice and the nori from the closest to you.
Okay.
And the rice is actually going to act as a glue. So when you roll it and you want to kind of tuck it like a burrito, you're doing great. Now finish the roll all the way through. And as you're doing that, now you have that seam on the bottom. Now you grab your maki mat and set it directly right on top.
Okay.
And you want to lightly form it. You want to kind of squeeze it a little bit together, push down a little bit on the top.
Okay.
Then once you take your maki mat off, and I'm putting salmon on top of mine. Okay. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. So now what you want to do is put a little sesame seeds across the top.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Perfect. And I'm going to cut the roll for you.
Okay.
Not sure if your insurance policy allows you to do that.
Okay. Perfect.
So I'm going to cut this for you.
Beautiful. Now I want to see your coup de grace. I want to see you make the finished roll because we're running out of time, but I want people to see the zip trip roll because there's going to be something fancy, folks, here at the end. Now, Randy's been doing this. He's a professional. Do not try this at home. Come here and do it. Zip trip roll. Now there's a blowtorch involved.
Here we go.
Look at this.
Woo. What we'll do is make some flames here for the zip trip roll. A little bit of ponzu sauce. And then we also have some micro cilantro on top.
Look at that.
And there's the roll.
Randy, you're the master. Right on.
Do we have time for you to eat a roll? Or?
Yeah, can I have one of these?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's put a little soy sauce right here. You can dip that.
So, Mike and Gassi, I'm going to
Sal,
toss it back
send it
to
our
you.
way.
Yeah.
He did great today. Awesome.
Sal Castaneda, excellent technique, but I would love to taste some of that. So hopefully he can make it down here to our little set and we can get a taste of that sushi.
Yeah, no, it's heating up here in Campbell, so I'm starting to think about, summertime afternoons, nothing better than spending them in the pool. And I'd like to welcome Natasha Bissell. She's the manager of the Campbell Recreation Services. You learned how to swim when you were growing up here in Campbell, largely through the youth recreation programs, and now you're turning around and offering that opportunity to others.
Yes,
Tell us how.
So Campbell Recreation, we offer youth scholarships to children, and they have to just show financial need and be a Campbell resident. And anyone who qualifies can come and apply for a scholarship every calendar year, and they can get up to $200 to help provide opportunities for them to be in a camp or learn how to swim, or if they want to take a safe sitters class or CPR, learn music. Anything that we offer in our activity guide is open to them, and that $200 is good for the entire year for them to come in. And it doesn't, it's not going to do their whole summer for them, but it's definitely something great to get them involved.
I was looking through your activity guide, and it's pretty thick. I mean, you have a ton of activities for all children out here in the city of Campbell. I mean, what's the reaction that you see from the children when they finally find out that they get to partake in whatever activity they want, if it's art or tennis?
They're so excited and they're so grateful to have that opportunity. And sometimes we take it for granted that we're fortunate to be able to provide that for our children, but not everybody has that access. And so as staff, it feels really good to kind of say, hey, we have this for you. Why don't you apply, and we can see what we can do to make sure you're participating with everybody else and that you're included. And sometimes it's as basic as a life skill of learning to swim, which is so critical for kids. And then, participating in summer camps and being out and making friends and being in nature is also just like a fantastic
And I tell
thing.
you what, someone actually, since we've been here, has just dropped off a check.
Another $200 check. So we're doing great this morning. We have a backlog of scholarships right now, so we're so excited to get back to the office and start awarding those scholarships out so kids can start participating this summer.
I love it. And you can still come on down and do that if your check is $200, $20, or anywhere in between.
Yeah.
Come on down to the City of Campbell Recreation Services is here. It is thoroughly funded from the community. And Natasha, you grew up here in Campbell. You spent 19 years working for this city, and keep on doing good, because those little ones who are learning to swim like you did are going to remember that forever.
Yeah, thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Natasha.
Thank you for being here.
Very good. Of course. I keep thinking about the Sunday Farmers Market. I love to get.
I keep thinking about the donuts and sushi.
So Sunday, Campbell has an amazing farmers market, and at a time, this was all produce. This was agriculture. This was, groves of fruit, and the Ainsleys, the heads of the Ainsley house behind us, revolutionized how that fruit is preserved and shared across the country.
It's a beautiful home, by the way.
It's about 100 years old. We're going to take you inside in just a second. If you haven't been, don't worry. We're taking you there as our zip trip to Campbell continues in just a minute.
All right, welcome back to the 9 live from downtown Campbell on this first official day of summer. Friday morning, the sun is out and the temperature is starting to jump a little bit here since we got here earlier this morning. Hey, so there was this guy named John Ainsley, and he's kind of a big deal around here. He came to the States and he did something very important.
Very important. Those of you who love fresh fruit know that it is extremely perishable. If you don't eat it when it's ripe, it just goes bad. However, thanks to his work, he revolutionized how fruit is canned and processed and shared across the country. And the Ainsley house, which is right behind us, is sort of a monument to where they live, but as Claudine Wong is there live to show us, it's now a museum for all to enjoy.
Yes, it's remarkable in here, guys. You know, you see it from the outside, and it's beautiful. It was moved here. It's this really remarkable place. You come inside, and it's kind of like a little time warp, brings you back to the 1920s. I've got Carrie Perkins here, who's the museum supervisor. As we're in here, it is a little flashback into time.
It is. It's like walking back into 1925. There are no stanchions to separate you from the furniture in the house. It was built by J.C. Ainsley, one of the first fruit canners in the valley.
So we're going to let our camera kind of move around and show you. We really like this phone room, so we'll show you this little phone room. In terms of, you know, what the history is and why you want people to come through here, you know, what do you want them to take away?
Well, we want people to really get a feel for what life would have been like if you were around in 1925, to allow your mind to wonder what life would have been like, what it would have been to sit on a chair, sit on a sofa, live in Campbell, and then maybe get an empathy for historic times and then have an empathy for today.
So you have amazingly different groups that come in here.
Right.
You have school kids who come in here. You have weddings. You have lots of things that happen within this space.
Absolutely. We do more than just tours. We do field trips, which is our #1 visitor group, small second, third graders. We have events throughout the year. We have a lecture series called History Happy Hour, a wine and music series. We do a huge holiday event here from November to December with open houses and specialties. We also have a gift shop, which is for unique gifts that people can buy things.
Well, the quality of the furniture and everything in here is remarkable. $8 for adults to get in. It is air conditioned, so if you're down in the city,
right.
And I've got it, last question, haunted. Everyone wants to know.
You have to come down to find out.
It's certainly something that's talked about, but it is amazing in here. You guys have to come over here after the show, take a little tour around, because really something to see.
I love it. Claudine, thank you so much. It's one of those little hidden gems that you might not know about otherwise. Sal, good to be joined by you.
That looks like a hidden gem right there. What'd you bring over?
I brought it for you guys after the show. Show's almost over, so we get to eat soon.
This is Zip Trip Sushi.
Right.
Awesome.
Hey,
All right.
more Zip Trips to come, by the way.
Right. Many more.
South San
Sunnyvale,
Francisco,
Clayton,
Fremont.
You know what I love? Is
American Canyon.
when people write to us and say, hey, come to my hometown, I love it. It's all going in the list. So keep those emails coming. Keep this music coming. The Westmont High School Jazz Ensemble playing us out into a gorgeous Friday morning. Thank you, Campbell.
Thanks for Campbell. Have a great weekend, everybody, and thanks for watching.